Hello everyone, this is Steve Alexander, and I'm going to present a new strategy today. I call it Alex Monte Carlo because it sort of resembles Monte Carlo. It's not actually Monte Carlo, but it resembles it. And if you haven't heard of that, Monte Carlo is a gambling system where you bet on whatever the outcome is, and if you lose, you double your bet and bet again. And if you lose again, you do it again. You keep on going, and apparently the idea is that sometime you will win, and when you finally win, you will have won one of whatever you were betting. So here's the strategy, and what you see on the screen is TQQQ, and these are daily bars, which means that every bar is 1 day's trading. The blue lines are winning trades, so we got into the trade right here, and we got out right there. And this one here, we got in, got out. So they're all winners. The yellow colored trades are losers. We got in at this point and got out there. So that's what you're seeing on the screen. Before I go any further, I'll note that this is my email address. Feel free to email me with comments or suggestions, or maybe you have other ideas that would be good strategies. I love to program these kind of things, and I'll be glad to do that. So I'll remove that from the screen now. And the strategy performance report is right here. As it's set up right now, we're using $100,000 capital, so that's our entire account, and in 1 year, from August last year to this year, we made about $11,000. That's the net. We made a profit of $12,000 and we lost $760 in losing bets. So it's a factor of 16 to 1. It's pretty good. I like that. There were 26 trades. We won 23 of them, so almost 90% of the trades were winners. Here's a graph of the equity curve. It runs pretty steadily up, so that's what we're looking for. Now, this is not a terrific return as far as the total income for the year, or the equity for the year. We only made $11,000. That's 11% on the $100,000. So we do have some parameters up here, and I'll say what those are, and let's see what we can do with them. The 700 is how much profit do you want to get out of each trade before you close it out. So here's an example. If we get this trade, and this trade, and this one, all these together, we add up the profit, and when it amounts to $700, then we'll close all the trades. So here we are, 1, 2, 3, close all those, and that's a $700 profit. So every case that you see, that, every time there's a closing, we made $700. So we can change that. We can close these out more often. For example, if I go here and say instead of 700, I'll be happy to close out with, let's say, 300. I'll go to the target profit here, and I'll put in 300. And the trades will look different, because now that's 300 profit, that's 300. You see, these happen more often now. So that's what's going on there. Now let's see, with 300 profit, maybe we made less money, maybe we made more. Let's check it out. It was 11,000. With 300 profit, it's 10,000. So it's about the same, but not quite. Now there's another parameter up there, and that one is 5. That parameter is after we close out a trade, or between trades that haven't been profitable yet, how long do we wait before we make another trade? And this has 5. What that means is our trades will be made every 5 days. So if you look over here, you'll find we make a trade right here. 5 days later, we make another trade. And we do that every 5 days. We make a trade until finally we get them closed out. So that's what's going on with that. Well, what if we traded every 3 days or every 1 day? Would that affect the profit? Well, let's see. I'll format the strategy. And instead of trading every 5 days, we'll trade every day. And let's see what difference that makes. As you see, there are many more trades now because every single day we're placing a trade. Does that make us more money or not? It was 10,000 or 11,000. Now 22,000. Okay, that's looking kind of nice. 22% in a year. We're still winning 80% of the trades. Profit factor is 3.68. Not bad. Let's see if we can do any better. We'll use the TradeStation optimizing function. It's so easy to do, and I think it'll go pretty quickly. So I'll go to the formatting strategies. And I'll just optimize these. I'll go here from 100 to 1,000 every $100. So I'll try all of the figures in there. And then on the dates, I'll try everything between 1 and 5 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll run this whole thing all at once and see what are the best figures to make the most profit. So there it goes. I believe we were making 22% as I recall. So let's see what it makes now. Turns out it's 601. So let's see what profit that returns us. It was 22,000. 32,000. So that's looking respectable now. Making 32,000 in 1 year. 32%. We're winning 85% of the trades. Performance graph, very, very nice. Lots of trades. Almost every one of them profitable. So there we go. That's what it looks like. Now I want to mention one thing that's important here. That is, in the formatting of the strategy, it's very important that under Properties for All, this button right here, that you be sure and put a number in here. I'll show you the code in a minute, and it uses 20 as a key figure. What that's doing is dividing the bankroll up into 20 different segments. So we're never actually putting $100,000 in these positions. Well, we're putting in 5,000 at each time. So 100,000 divided by 20. Each of these trades would be $5,000 per trade. But it's important that you check this box and put the 20 in there. So I'll say OK to that and OK to that. As you see the trades on the screen, when there are a lot of them, all of these trades, we made a trade every day, and all these add up to about 20 trades. And these arrows mean all of those trades were closed out at the same time. So that's why there's so many of them. You could run this strategy and say, oh no, I want to divide my bankroll into 10 pieces instead of 20. So you can play with a lot of the numbers here and make it behave quite differently. What I'm going to look at now is I'm going to show you the easy language, and I think you'll see where these parameters come in and how you could play around with them. It's a very short program, so it's quite easy to understand, and where these parameters come in will be obvious. Okay, that part there usually takes about 2 seconds when I'm not videotaping it, so when you record it, it takes longer. Alright, so we have a beginning bankroll, target profit. We're using 600, and every X days, that's how many days between trades. And then we have some variables. Size is an important variable. That's how many shares we're going to trade. And we actually calculate that later in the program. Okay, so we set the little bankroll equal to the beginning bankroll. And little bankroll is our running bankroll that we keep track of our money throughout the trading time, the evolution. Okay, so we start right here in the main line. This is the entire program right here, between main line and end program. We start and calculate the size of our trade, how many shares we're going to buy. And that's the integer portion of our running bankroll divided by close divided by 20. There's where that 20 comes in. So you could make that 10 or 5 or whatever you want to divide up your bankroll so you can have enough money to spread it over the time that you're using. So we're using 20 here, and that's what's going on. This statement right here, if mod date every X days equals 0, what that means, the mod function calculates the remainder if you divide this number by that number. Well, this number is just a digital number. So if you divide that by 3, for example, every 3 days, the mod of that, the remainder of that, will be 0. So you'll wind up trading every 3 days. Okay, the next thing is we check our position profit. That's a reserved word, a function in TradeStation. It calculates what is our profit on a current position. And that takes into account all of the trades as you add them all up. So if that position profit is less than our target profit, which was our $600 up here, then we'll just buy size shares, the right number of shares, next bar at market. Now, if that is not the case, in other words, we don't have enough profit yet, then, we do have enough profit. So if profit is too small, then we'll buy again. But if position profit is greater than the target profit, then we will sell all of our shares, and our running bankroll will be whatever the beginning bankroll was, plus net profit. And net profit is the total profit that we've got for our entire trading session. So that's what the easy language does. And we'll take that off. This does work on pretty much anything that trends up. You don't want some stock that's been going down, like GE, for example, General Electric. But pretty much anything that trends up. The figures up here, one day works fine. For the profit target, I usually set the profit target somewhere around $500, $600, because I found that in that general range there, it'll work on just almost anything. So I'm going to change here now. Let's see, I'll put it on some things that I know are trending up. For example, Boeing aircraft. So there are the trades that it would make on Boeing. Notice that when the trending up is going on, you make very few losing trades. And then when it starts going sideways, like this up here, then you have some losing trades. Let's see what the performance report will show us here. Nice equity curve there. Our percentage for the entire year turns out to be $15,000 or 15%. Let's see, here's another one that I know is trending up. Bank of America, BAC. 11,000 or 11%. All of these would probably do better if you let it optimize the profit. I just set it at 500 because I know it'll make money on almost everything. Makes 83% of the trades, wins 83% of them. Graphs, they always look like that. So that's about it. There's the chart. That's what it looks like. I hope you find this useful. Next time I think I'll talk about a scanner where you can find stocks that are indeed trending up, that they've been trending up for a while, because if you find something like that, it's much more likely to work out, or rather you'll get better profit. Here's Amazon. I know Amazon's been trending up for quite a while. So there you see what it looks like on a nice trending stock there, and the performance report. Here's our equity curve, beautiful, and the money on Amazon will wind up making 13% in a year. But again, we've only chosen the 500 here. If we choose a bigger number, we'd do much better with Amazon. Okay, well, enjoy that, and that's all I have for today. I think that's it for now. Thank you.